So I decided that because I was bored, I was going to remake one of the oldest videos that I ever put up on my channel. It's not on my channel anymore. I privated it because it was such a bad video with such low production value. Although this remake doesn't have the best production value either. It's me talking over CSGO footage that I literally recorded 10 minutes ago. So this story occurs back at summer camp. It was a normal day. We were sitting outside, smoking a bunch of weed. I'm kidding, guys, we were like 9 years old. We were playing on the playground, and then the head of the camp told us to come into her office, and we were scared. Because we didn't know if we had done something wrong, or if she was trying to trip us out, or if someone had gotten shot. But no, it was none of those things. It turns out that because we were the oldest kids at camp, she wanted us to decide on what flavor of Italian ice we would be having that week. Because this summer camp did a thing where they would give the older kids Italian ice every Friday for every week. Except for the weeks when we were bad children, which was mostly every week. So the camp director leads us into her air-conditioned office, which for some reason is right in front of the parking lot. That's going to be important for later on in the story. So she calls up the Italian ice place, and she's talking about what flavor she needs to order and how many she needs to order. When all of a sudden, we notice this kid's grandpa, it looks like, about to drop his kid off. Now, even though by this time it was like 10 o'clock in the morning, we didn't think much of it because we would have kids come at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The camp closed at 6. So we didn't think much of it. We just thought the kid's grandpa would drop him off, he would leave, sign him in, all of that stuff, no problems. Well, apparently this guy had never dropped off this kid before because he didn't know about the #1 policy at the camp. You have to walk the child to their classroom before you can leave. And this kid being a little kid, he was probably scared out of his mind when his grandpa decided that he was going to walk him into the front door and then immediately dip out of there and just leave the kid right by the extremely light and easy to open front door with no supervision, right in front of a parking lot chock full of cars. You could probably see where I'm going with this. I'm assuming that this kid was lost and didn't know the way to his classroom, because the next thing we know, this kid just dives headfirst straight into the parking lot and goes behind about 75 cars that are pulling out. And me being the dumbass antisocial 9-year-old I was, waited until the kid almost got run over to be like, Miss Camp Director lady? Is he supposed to be out there? The short answer is no. He was not supposed to be out there. So the camp director doesn't even hang up with the Italian ice place. She literally jumps out of her chair and within 2.5 seconds is on the complete other side of the parking lot, scooping up the child just as he's about to run into the busy road that is in front of the daycare, probably saving his life. I feel bad for this kid, because A, he almost died that day, and B, once he got rescued, the camp director pulled him back inside and spent the next 75 minutes yelling at the top of her lungs at this kid. And this kid was just sitting there, tears bubbling down his face the entire time. And I'm gonna be honest, we had to sit there that whole 75 minutes and watch this happen, and it was probably the most entertaining thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if it was bad to say that or not, but I'm just being honest here. Even after those 75 minutes of watching her yell at the child, she still didn't let us go back to class. She in fact made us go to a completely different class. The 5-year-old class. Not the class that the kid was in, mind you. Just the 5-year-old class. He was also at recess during this time. So we had to go back outside, but this time to the little kids' playground. And me and some of the other kids in the older kids group just sat on one of the benches out there and just talked about the fact that we had just witnessed a kid almost die for the next 32 minutes until they finally let us go back into class after recess. Even after those 75 minutes of watching her yell at the child, she still didn't let us go back to class. She in fact made us go to a completely different class. The 5-year-old class. Not the class that the kid was in, mind you. Just the 5-year-old class. He was also at recess during this time. So we had to go back outside, but this time to the little kids' playground. And me and some of the other kids in the older kids group just sat on one of the benches out there and just talked about the fact that we had just witnessed a kid almost die for the next 32 minutes until they finally let us go back into class after recess. Thanks for watching this, guys. I know this was a short video, but I'm going to upload another story time type video today. This one actually does have some horror elements in it. And I don't really know what I want to do with the channel from now on, like what type of content I really do want to make, because, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I really enjoy and stuff I really want to put out, but I'm really trying to find a way to integrate all of it, and I just can't seem to find any ways that it's possibly going to work. So just stay tuned for more information about that. Thank you for giving me your time today. I'll see you guys later. Peace.